Um, let's try and break this all down. Hold up, hold up. Sorry, guys. Let's try and break this all down. There we go. There we go. That's what we're. Let's try and break this all down, man. So it's happened. It has happened. Frank Homeboy, Francis Lampard, the guy who failed at two clubs, is back at Chelsea. So I felt that I wanted just for everything to sink in. So I had as much information as possible, so I could pretty much attack this in the best possible way and in the best possible arena. So let me just receive all the info and then come at you with a vid that really best represents where I'm at with this whole stuff. So let me actually come at it from a different angle. Let me come at it from the supportive angle, the pro angle. Steady the ship. Legend. People already know him. The season is already over. He can help galvanize the team. He can help galvanize the players. He can lift the mood up in the players. He can now give the players that uplift and that jolt of energy, specifically ahead of this damn team that will be facing next Wednesday. He knows the place. He knows Chelsea and so forth, all these things. And my response to all that is, that's bullcrap. So let's deal with the angle of the season's already over. What is it going to be? There's not going to be a new manager is going to be hired already. So what issue do you have with Lampard coming in when he's only coming in on a short-term basis and he's going to be gone afterwards? This is my issue with it. It is the message you send out. That's it, because the people, some very stupid fans, not all, because there's some Chelsea fans that are very sensible. There are a lot of Chelsea fans who are very sensible, but there are other Chelsea fans who are very, very stupid and are very easily led. And this hire are for those stupid Chelsea fans who don't see what these guys are doing. These guys who are amongst possibly some of the worst owners I've ever seen in my life. They know they messed up with Potter. They know their unpopularity has grown exponentially. So this isn't a footballing decision. This is a PR decision. This is a perception decision. Because you have to understand that you're dealing with owners who don't really care about Chelsea's success. Remember, when you're coming from American sports, win, lose, or draw, it doesn't really matter. All that matters is, are the finances good? Are we in the green? And that's good because you're never going to get relegated. Win, lose, or draw, the fans will always show up. So this isn't an Abramovich, this isn't a chic man. So this isn't the Qatari owners where no, I want to win. And I am buying this club because I am trying to buy a club to succeed and win. And I have specific standards and I'm going to be ruthless in the pursuit of success of my club. So for these guys, they're like, who can we hire that can help to lift the mood of the place and change the perception towards us? Oh, we'll hire the popular guy known as Lampard, who can help change the perception. Because look at this stuff on face value. This is a man who was sacked by Chelsea, the same club. Sacked by Everton because he was trying to get Everton relegated. And now he gets rehired. I was trying to think about this before I did this video. Has there ever been a big club? So let's just do with the Premier League. Arsenal, Liverpool, Man United, through in Man City now. Have any of these clubs ever sacked a manager justifiably? Because people say Tuchel, was it unjustifiably? Has there ever been one of these big clubs who have sacked a manager justifiably, then rehired him afterwards? What job, in whatever industry, what job do you sack a man because of their poor performance, but you then rehire him? Think about it. What company sacks an employee because they've done badly and they've performed badly? Then months later, years later, they then rehire him. It doesn't make any logical sense, because why did you sacked him? Because he wasn't good at the job. Now, if you're hiring him to do a different job, that's different. So if, let's say, Lampard was coming in to be a sporting director or so forth, okay, but you're rehiring him to do the same job that he failed at. Not only did he fail at this job at this company, he failed at the same job at a different company. So he has a resume of being a failure at this job. And I don't know how else to say this and how I can get this through some people's thick skulls. Legendary player doesn't make legendary manager. Why don't people understand this stuff? This whole idea of like, oh, he knows the team, he's Chelsea through and everything. That's where we have the divide. That's where we have the divide. And I keep saying the football fan and the tribal fan. For the tribal fan, they don't care about success. What the tribal fan really cares about is this family psychology, this family aura. Because for the tribal fan, if Lampard or Terry or Drogba or whoever are managers and Chelsea are 16th, they're 17th, they're fighting relegation, they'll be happy. They'll be happy because all they care about is this need of another family. I have a family that I'm really happy about. I don't need another surrogate family. So for us football fans, for us Chelsea football fans, we are of the mindset of it's about success. And we can divide what you did as a player and what you did as a manager. You know how much I love Zola. I follow Drogba on Instagram. Drogba is my guy. Drogba is my guy. I would never, ever, ever want Drogba to come anywhere near being the Chelsea manager. Never. Because it would pain me to have to criticize him and call him a brick and a bum of a manager. Bro, Maradona was a trash manager. Maradona is seen as one of the greatest players of all time. He's seen as one of the most talented players of all time. He was a garbage manager. And the thing with Lampard is, I almost feel sorry for him because I just think that there is a circle of people around him who keep making him think that he's a really good manager, and the reason why he got sacked were not faults of his own and were not his shortcomings. I just wish somebody could tell him that, bro, this just ends for you. At the elite level, it just ends for you. Maybe at the Premier League level, it ends for you. If Chelsea go on a winning run, they beat Real Madrid, they beat City, let's say they even win the Champions League, it won't be because of Lampard. It would be just like Di Matteo again, the Chelsea DNA. The Chelsea DNA of finding a way to win. 2012, Chelsea did not win that because of Di Matteo. He played a small role, but it was because of the players. 2021, that was Tuchel. If Chelsea win the UCL this season, it won't be because of Lampard. Because as we know, Lampard is tactically inept. Lampard tactically here and there because he's not really done the groundwork and gained the experience to be managing and coaching at the elite level. He doesn't have the natural coaching talent that Pep had out the gates. Pep was just a managerial savant, where from out the gates he just had a knack for coaching. So he just ain't that freaking dude. But the sad thing here is Chelsea have now changed completely. And I just think people just need to realize is that the Chelsea you knew, it's now gone. The Chelsea that Abramovich carefully forged, it's now gone. Because you've got to pay attention. You know how people use, woke. This is what being woke is. Being woke means being aware, opening your eyes. Like Morpheus said to Neo, use your eyes. You open your freaking eyes, wake up. So this is what people need to wake up on. This ownership do not care about the success of Chelsea. This ownership just cares about the business side and the financial side of Chelsea. Because all they care about is you buy those season tickets, you sell out those freaking stadiums, you sing your songs and so forth. Win, lose or draw, that's all they care about. Abramovich pursued success. His main priority was about how do I make Chelsea a successful team? How do I make this a successful franchise? That was his main number one concern. The number one concern of these guys is how do we ensure Chelsea is good business-wise, is good financially. So all he cares about, So as I'm looking at online and I'm seeing guys saying, oh my gosh, Lampard is back, the vibes are back, he's going to lift to the moon. I'm like, you're acting like losers. Anybody cheering on the hire of Lampard is your losers because you have to understand the wider picture here. Forget about he's only here for a short term. Forget about it's not a long-term hire or everything. It is the message it's sending out. It is sending out the message that you're a team of vibes and you're a team of losers. So if you're a Man City outside looking in, you're a Real, you're a Barca, you're like, oh yeah. So this Chelsea that we're a very ruthless team pursuing the goal of trying to be a big club and when you want to be a big club and a successful club, you've got to be ruthless. Which is why I'm sorry. I envy Paris and Real Madrid. Because Abramovich's ruthlessness is what is needed to be a big club. You cannot be a big club and not be ruthless. I thought what Bayern did to Nagelsmann was harsh. But Bayern, if as much as I did disagreed, I get it. They're being ruthless. And they're aiming for a high benchmark. And I thought, wow, how Abramovich recreated Chelsea from what Ken Bates has. I was like, aha. So once he's not done it like this, you now have to go through. Bro, I mean, maybe this is for a different discussion of how I think the UK government completely destroyed Chelsea and ripped them completely from the inside. Talk about how it was probably illegal what they did to Abramovich, taking away the Chelsea team, mixing sports and politics. That's very different to the discussion. But the reality now is Mount is getting his new contract. Mount is probably going to be captain. He's now going to have a long-term role at the team. And yeah, I mean, Chelsea right now are a bunch of losers. They're a bunch of losers. That big club, that was, I look like a fool. Now, me looking like a fool is no real fault of my own because I didn't predict the future. Nobody, and I mean no soul on this planet, foresaw this clown of owners rehiring Lampard. No one saw it. But now when I now look at what has happened, I'm like, wow. Me saying that's my Chelsea. This is how a big club rolls, man. If a guy doesn't do well, we sack him because we have standards and so forth. And then you go from that story. I mean, how do you go from sacking Tuchel for Potter, getting young players on 7-year lifetime blood contracts, buying players under Tuchel and sacking, buying players under Potter when you're not really sure Potter's involved in the acquiring of those players? You then sack Potter and you hire a guy who has been sacked from his 2 previous jobs. One of them being the very same job that you're rehiring for. I have never seen a new ownership make so many bad decisions in such a quick space of time. I've never seen this happen. And I'll leave you with this. And this may sound weird. Real Madrid should actually be worried. And I'll tell you why Real should be worried. This is such a bad hire. This gives Real Madrid such an overwhelming favoritism tag for the wins for the UCL tie. This is pretty much the extent of there's no point in Chelsea even turning up because Lampard and just how horrendous he is tactically and how he's just going to just rely on vibes and passion to go up against one of now the most informed teams out there and a team of UCL royalty. When you just take all these things into account, Madrid should be scared because I've seen a story like this play out before. That's when a team are so overwhelming favorites and they're facing a team in such total disarray who do not have a chance in 6 hells of going through, crazy things happen. And now I'm thinking something crazy is probably going to happen. I think something crazy is going to happen. Because I'm thinking that how the hell does Lampard, Mount, and Conor Gallagher knock out Real Madrid over 2 legs? I'm like, I don't know. And because I don't know, and because it seems so improbable, it may just happen. And when it happens, you're like, how the hell did that happen? Because, guys, I've seen stranger things happen in this life before. But, I said again, sad, man. It is sad how this new ownership have completely... something tells me that this was intentional. This feels intentional. I don't know. I'll have to think more about it. But yeah, man, look. In the space of a few months, everything that Abramovich built, everything he built, has just been destroyed by a bunch of owners who I will repeat, these owners do not care about the success of Chelsea. They're not here for the pursuit of Chelsea's success. That is not their priority. Abramovich's priority was the success of Chelsea. The success of these guys is good business and ensuring that you numbskulls buy the season ticket, the merchandise, and fill out that stadium, win, lose, or draw. So they're relying on some of you numbskull fans to be jumping up and down because of this Lampard hire and supporting Lampard Chelsea, win, lose, or draw. And even if the team is doing crap, because all they want is your business. They're not here about the success of the club. They're here for your freaking money and to line their pockets as well. Guys, hit the subscribe button over there. Subscribe to that Football Hot stuff and check out that other content, man. Peace out. Stay true.